right, I may put some more color. So I'm going to think about this and I'll be right back. Okay, I've had a chance to play around a little bit with this, and I have some cotton squares in pinks, I have some whites, I have some ripped fabric, those stamped hearts. There are two spaces here that I plan to stitch this in a grid pattern so that when I burn away all of the felt, it all stays together, which is going to leave two spots here with the grid. Now these are my dryer sheet and my shears, and I really can't put those on now because when I burn it away, they would burn away as well. And I know I want to add that there, and I think I would like to add some of this Tyvek in a heart there as well, or even a square. We'll see after it burns away to see what it needs. It may not need anything. Maybe I can just spread these out a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to keep playing. Okay, it's starting to come together. I had this same piece of hand dye that I've used and used and used, and the purple in here, I think it was bothering me that I wasn't bringing out enough purple, so I cut just a little random snippet for each of the squares. And then I thought, well, there's this space here. What if I did a kind of a floating heart around it, and then the stitches connected it? So when I burn away the felt, it will burn a hole, around the heart, and then the floating heart would be there, all held together with stitches. So what I'm going to need to do, I will do a larger heart that will fit in this space, and then I'm going to cut a white heart to leave here to put this on. In order to get the heart that I want to suspend in this area, I used freezer paper, just regular freezer paper you would get from your grocery store. And this is a plastic coated. It's got a shiny side and a paper side. And what is great about this is that you can draw what you want and cut it out. And I am going to press this onto this hand-dyed fabric, and the shiny side down is going to give just enough adhesive to hold it there for me to cut it out, because this is a very tiny flimsy piece. And so I can cut that out and then take this off, and it leaves no residue, and it makes a perfect template. And I like this piece right here because it has both the pink and the purple, which I'm hoping will bring this together. So I am going to put that there. I am going to touch that with a hot iron. It is on there. It is stuck. So now I can cut that out on that line. Very clean. And I can take that off. And the coating that's on the back of this can be used two or three times before it will not stick any longer. So this is a great template tip. Okay, I am not even sure how I want to approach this, so I am just going to start stitching. I know I want to stitch everything down in a way that if the white felt goes away, it's held together. I have a variegated pink and purple thread in my machine and just a regular standard foot. And I'm going to start out just doing straight stitches from the very edge all the way across, and I'm going to cover this in a grid pattern just to hold everything down. The edge. The reason I'm going off the edge is I imagine this is a cotton thread and it won't burn, and I'm hoping that will give me a fringy edge. The threads will stay and the felt will go away. Now this area I need to really think about. I know I want those flowers, the hearts that I'd cut out of the fabric sheet and the shears to go in the center. And I know I want to connect the center to that. So I'm going to wait to do that for a little bit. Okay, I have a lot of stitches in a grid pattern that's going to hold this together. Now I think I'm going to add a few decorative stitches. I know that there needs to be more stitching in the white spaces where the felt is, because when I burn that away, I need something to hold all of my elements together. So I am going to come in and I am going to choose a stitch, and I believe the one I want is 40. Right. I still have the variegated thread in, and I have just a white cotton thread on the back. So we're just going to let this machine do its thing. And what's nice about this is I'm putting very heavy stitches in, and so I know these pieces are going to stay together. It looks like a baseball stitch. Alright, I've not sewn these hearts down yet. I'm not sure what I want to do with that. I know if I was one that did hand stitches, I would certainly do some hand stitching on this. I can see Carol McDonald's French knots around the edge. She does beautiful handwork. I don't know, maybe I'll try it. We'll see. But for right now, I'm going to stick with these decorative stitches on this machine. I like this stitch, so I'm going to come down this one like that. This one has a lot of thread in a grid pattern. I did a lot in the area in the center where I want to put the shears, and the 3 hearts have been free motioned on. I believe after I melt it, I may use the crayon technique and color those a bit more. So this one I think is ready for heat. I love what this has done. I can't decide if I want to keep going and burn the rest of the felt, or I really like it just like it is and put those hearts there. So I may burn a little more around the edges, see what I get, but I love how this is turning out. All right, still can't decide if I want to keep going and get rid of all of the white and just leave the threads. I really like the way it looks now. I like the way these hearts are going to lay in there. All right, I may do the crayon technique on the hearts and come back to it and decide. Or I may just live with it like this for a little bit and I can always come back in and burn more. But I really like the way it looks. It's very sheer. It feels stable, like it's held together nicely. We'll see.